Chaos in the Hive. Mayor's office, day before stakeholders meeting.
Thank you for agreeing to see me at this late hour, Mr. Mayor. I got your WhatsApp message that you didn't want to attend tomorrow's community meeting. You've been supporting the Building Awareness of Saving Bees in Antigua project since the idea was proposed, so I wanted to see if there was anything I could do to change your mind.
Well, Mr. Pollard, I will be honest as a politician can be. Outside of the city, my constituency is mainly rural, and it is difficult to create opportunities for people in these areas. I do think the idea of getting young people into honey production is a good idea, and encouraging farmers to use less pesticides on their crops not only saves the bees but allows the farmers to get higher prices for their crops in the city. I was very keen about the project, but I could not get around to give you all the guidance you would have needed. I know you selected the Petit Carbo community for technical reasons, but I would have advised you against it. Simply put, I don't like Petit Carbo. It was nice when it was only a few established farmers, but now it is a mess. When people exhaust their welcome everywhere else, they move to Petit Carbo. Every time I pass by it, they have some new shop going up on the hill and all of them spotted. There's always some kind of conflict occurring in the area. The only thing they seem to agree with is that they don't vote for me.
Mr. Mayor, I truly understand your concerns. We did evaluate a number of sites across your constituency according to technical criteria, and Piticabo did score the highest. In fact, it's exactly because there's poverty in the area that we felt that the project could have its biggest impact. Does this give you some reassurance on why you should attend the meeting?
Well, as I said before, I know you had your technical reasons, so that is why I did not want to block you. I may not like the people in Petit Carbo, however, I really would like to improve the area. Therefore, those people, well, the people themselves, as I said before, they really like conflict, always problematic. Ever since you have been running your social media campaign, I have been getting calls about the project. Some people like it, but most people in the community do not. They say we should have invested the money in improving the roads. That's not a lie. But we have more than one issue that affect the community and the people. Therefore, me speaking at your community meeting just puts me in a worse position.
Well, we've also been getting both positive and negative feedback from our social media campaign, but we were clear that we would engage the community to get their feelings on the project before we move ahead. If the community is truly against the project, our fallback is that we move it to another site. If the community is for the project, then it will be a good opportunity to change what the community feels about you. Now, I will be in charge of answering the questions at the community meeting, so there's less pressure on you to answer any questions once we stay on track. I think your presence at the meeting will show that the government is still interested in bettering the area. And your presence will also show that we have the official backing and that the project could happen as long as they want it.
Wow. That's lovely. That's a very good strategy, Mr. Pollard. I think you should be a politician. Come and support me and work with my team. All right. I'll be at the community meeting, but as we agreed, if they don't support the idea, we will simply move it to another location.
Evening, community center, meeting in progress.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that rousing speech. Can we get another round of applause for the mayor? Come on, he's done a great job. Can we get another round of applause? I would like to thank him for his attendance, as he's always eager to get your feedback. Now, we've been posting flyers in the community and have had an active social media campaign. So I believe many of you already have an idea of what the project is about. However, I would like to now take the opportunity to briefly present Building Awareness of Saving Bees in Antigua project, and to get your feedback on the project or any concerns that you may have. Now, I know Petit Cabo. Petit Cabo is known for producing watermelons. Now, bees are important pollinators of crops, especially watermelons. Now, we've noticed that bee populations are falling worldwide and also in Antigua. And studies at the university have linked the decline of bees in Antigua to the overuse of pesticide. Now, I have tasted the watermelons from Petit Cabo, and it is well known across Antigua. So, how many farmers here have noticed that the yield of your watermelon fields have been declining over the years? I'm seeing some hands up. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm seeing the hands. Yes. So you understand that we're trying to get a project in here that will be beneficial to you as farmers, as well as create other opportunities. So how are we going to do this? We'd like to do a training with the farmers in the community to reduce the use of pesticides on your crops through something called integrated pest management. And what that means simply is that we have other techniques other than the use of pesticides which can reduce pests. Sometimes it's weeding. Sometimes it's putting charcoal around plants and various other techniques. But it also allows for the use of pesticides when the populations of insects start to get high. This will hopefully bring back the bees and increase your yield without affecting the health of your crop. Secondly, we'd like to train the youth in the area to increase honey production. And we have a support program to allow them to be entrepreneurs. We also aim to build a honey processing facility for all the honey that is being produced, and therefore it can be bottled and sold. This will create a range of opportunities for persons earning a living in Petit Cabo. Now, as this meeting is for your feedback, I would like to open the floor for questions.
Mr. Project Manager, I have a question for you. You ever grow anything in your life?
Well, that's a good question. And it is a very reasonable thing to ask, because for us to really speak and talk about these things, we really should have a background. So thank you again for that question. I actually come from a long line of farmers, and I myself have put myself through university through running a farm. So even at that farm, we kept bees. So I also have this love for bees, and I see the opportunities that could come out of a project like this.
The reason I asked the question, is that we have plenty university people come to Petit Cabo talking this and talking that to tell us how we must farm and never plant anything in their life. So, all right, you know about farming. But you ready for my second question?
Well, I'm always happy to receive more questions, so please go ahead.
Okay. Listen, we don't spray pesticides because we like it, but because we have to. More bees are nice, but what we have when we have the worms and the mole cricket and the aphids and the grasshopper and all them thing they nice. If we reduce the amount of pesticide and the pests destroy we crop, who going to compensate us?
Well, I'd like to thank you for raising that issue. I'd first like to say that the project will start with a farmer's field school. We'll rent a farmer's field for the life of the project, and we'll train the farmers in techniques to reduce pesticides, but still keep pests away. We'll have the farmers from other areas which have used these techniques to come to the school and be part of it and assist in training. And if there are any farmers in PT Cabo who have been using similar techniques, we'll be happy to learn from them. So we're not asking all the farmers to immediately stop using pesticide and risk losing their crops. The idea is that for farmers to have a wider range of options to control their pests. And you can use the pesticides as needed, but not overuse pesticides. We're encouraging you not to overuse the pesticides.
I see.
So once farmers get comfortable with IPM, you can now use it in your own fields. So what you have to be comfortable with the techniques, and you have to therefore make the decisions about your crops. We're really teaching you how to be better farmers, but also better scientists, and make better decisions. So, I know you raised the issue of compensation. As you may know, the Ministry of Agriculture has been rolling out its crop insurance program, and the mayor has been having discussions with the Ministry of Agriculture to have crop insurance implemented here for farmers if they adopt the IPM techniques.
Interesting. The Ministry of who again? The Minister of Agriculture was just here last week, Mr. Mayor and a Mr. Project Manager. We hear you, but how are we going to pay for crop insurance? Look at Mayor there. He only want looking to juke we eye out. That's how we feel in Petit Cabo.
Well, good day, ma'am. We do thank you for your participation and your perspective on the situation. My team and I have already started making efforts to address this matter. We have supplied the ministry with figures on the number of farmers and the socioeconomic conditions that have been impacting the farmers on a day-to-day basis. As they are now rolling out, they will gauge on what is appropriate to assist with the matter.
Okay. Now, I can see that crop insurance is a very exciting issue. I also realize that it's an important issue. So I think it is possible that in subsequent meetings we can discuss this matter further. But given that we do have limited time in this meeting, I would like to encourage other speakers to raise their issues, and let's keep on track with respect to this discussion on bees, noting that we can discuss the other areas in depth in further meetings.
Okay, sir. Evening, Community Center, meeting in progress, continued.
I don't have a question. I have a statement to make.
Please, go ahead.
I don't want no bees in Petit Cabo. My 5-year-old child gets stung by a bee about 2 years ago. First, she arm swell up, and then she whole body start to swell. She started to get fever, and she was whispering, "Mommy, I can't breathe." It have no doctor in Petit Cabo. The hospital is quite in the city, and I could not get an ambulance to take her. She lasts for about 30 minutes and then she passed away. Mr. Mayor, a health center in the community would have been of great assistance in saving her life. But instead, all you want to do is bring more bees. Do you want more children and more people to die?
Ma'am, I sympathize with your loss. I don't think there's anything more painful than losing a child. I just want to let you know and the community know that if we decide to go ahead with the project in Piticabo, the rearing of the bees will be outside the community. So there's less risk of community members being stung. We've given thought to the allergic reactions, so we're going to implement an allergy testing program. And persons who are allergic will be able to use medication, and those most susceptible will be given EpiPens so that a tragedy like yours will be less likely to occur.
Okay, ma'am, first off, let me offer my condolences to you and your family. I was also heartbroken when I heard the story back then. I want you to know that since that day, I have been advocating on the community's behalf to the Ministry of Health to have a health center in Petit Cabo. And although it is still in the works, Petit Cabo will be one of the sites, or one of 3 health centers that will be constructed in my constituency once the Ministry of Health rolls out the program. So you can look forward to that.
Thanks, Mayor.
Well, that was excellent, Mr. Mayor. Do we have any other persons who would like to make interjections? I'm seeing a young woman here. Please, don't be shy.
Well, thank you, Project Manager. I, for one, would like to thank the mayor for that. And I would also like to say I support the Bees Project 100%. We have no works for youth here in Petit Cabo. And I am so happy to learn how to mind bees. All I have in my name, and you all know all I have in my name, is 1 car. So I can see myself selling the honeybees and the honey from here and taking it to the city to make some money for me and my family. I know plenty of people here tonight didn't understand what your company was coming here to do and might be against the idea, but I think we have to give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank this young woman for her support. We wanted this to be an opportunity for the community to voice its opinions on the project. And I think we got that tonight. Can I ask how many of you think that it'll be okay to have a project run in Petit Cabo? Raise your hands. Ah, that's a good number of hands. But we're still seeing a few hands down. So please, we're not going to forget about your concerns. We didn't expect to come to this community meeting and have everybody agree. That's not how things usually work. But I can see that the majority of the community seems to support the Petit Cabo having the project in Petit Cabo, which means that we will go ahead with the project in Petit Cabo as originally planned. But
Okay.
those of you,
yes.
But for those of you who still have concerns, we will have continued community meetings and we will listen to what you're saying, and we will make adjustments as we go along. And hopefully everybody in Petit Cabo over time might be supportive of what has been accomplished, especially when the opportunities really start to be realized. So we look forward to working with everyone in the community in the near future.
Okay, well said, Mr. Polar. Thank you again for inviting me. And as we close today's proceedings, I would like to thank the members of the community for participating and actually coming out and attending this forum. Please rest assured that your concerns and issues raised will be addressed, hopefully in a timeful manner. And as we move forward with the project, we crave your patience and your support on a daily basis as we fulfill this program to benefit the community and the country on a whole. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.